I kind of wanted to take you back to the beginning before you got into all of these businesses and screenwriting and stuff. How was like kind of getting into screenwriting and everything? Like, how was life kind of building up to that point?
Well, so knowing that you guys have a mindset audience, I will say this. I was absolutely terrified that I was not talented enough to achieve my dreams. That was crippling. And I was sliding towards depression. I had no idea how to break into the industry. I mean, thankfully for everybody that can hear my voice right now, YouTube exists.
Yeah.
And it did not.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it just felt so all or nothing. And to go from like, I'm just a guy to I have a movie playing at your local movie theater, like was just how, what?
Yeah.
A no budget film was $100,000. And at that time, I'd never met anybody that had $100,000, let alone know anybody or be, have a parent or something that has that kind of money. So I was just like, I don't understand how I'm going to do this.
100,000 around that time was like 500,000 or something, right?
It might as well have been $1 trillion. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just, insert unrealistic number here.
Yep.
Like I had no concept of how to get to that. So that was really daunting. And so I was full of fear, self-doubt, and I didn't even know like the first step or the first thread to pull on. So you can understand now how I become the guy that's like, everything is just a series of things that you do. And once you understand, oh, what is that thing I need to do to break into, insert your dream here, it's just going to be a series of steps.
Yeah.
And so start with, what does a success state look like? And then you start working backwards. So my wife and I play a game, no BS, what would it take? So it's like, as long as you know where you're trying to end up, you can play a game of no BS, what would it take? And the reason you do that is not because you're going to come up with the most realistic solution. You're going to put yourself in problem solving mode. And you just want to get out of that fear state. You want to get into, okay, I can do anything. Yeah, you can do anything. Okay, I would, like I remember there was somebody in my life, I really wanted to help them lose weight. And I was like, okay, I'm going to kidnap them. I'm going to take them into international waters because I don't want to go to jail for this. And they're only going to eat what I give them.
Yeah.
And after 6 months, they're going to be in great shape.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'm not actually going to do that, but it would work. And so it's like, okay, so this is actually a game of just getting them to eat the things that are good for them. And so then you start going, okay, what's a way where you could do this where they'd be happy you did it? And then all of a sudden you find yourself at, well, what if I could make food that they chose based on taste and it happened to be good for them? That was literally one of the conversations that led to Quest.
Wow.
And so you playing that game is really the way to start. So if anybody's listening to this right now and they're just super daunted by their own dreams, it's like, go into crazy mode, lay out something that maybe you wouldn't be willing to do, but you know would work. And then you start working backwards from, why would that work? What is the actual key ingredient? And what's another way to do it that you would be willing to do? And then you just start going down that path. Now, ultimately, you do just have to do something. You cannot talk your way to your dream. You cannot dream your way to your dream. You've got to act your way to your dream.
I love that exercise. That's kind of why I was asking you that, is like, how did you get that mind state?
Yeah, how did you develop that?
I became obsessed with first principles thinking and cause and effect. And this is going back to why have I fallen so in love with video games, is you realize that the real universe that we all live in operates on a set of rules. Once you understand the set of rules, it defines what you can and can't do. Once you know what you can and can't do, then it's a question of, oh, well, what do I have to do to get to the point where I can do that thing? And so this is why I try to get people to understand skills have utility. So if life is a game, you're learning a skill, you open up that skill tree, now you can do something that other people can't do. And when you can do something other people can't do, you can outcompete them. So, I mean, I'm talking to a professional skateboarder here. So it's like you practice your ollieing, and then you practice your kickflip, and then you kickflip onto a rail. And like now all of a sudden you're going to win in a competition against anybody that can't ollie, anybody that can't ollie and kickflip, anybody that can't ollie kickflip onto a rail, right? And you just keep stacking those things. And we were talking before, is a phenomenal skateboarding documentary called The Bones Brigade. And there's this whole sequence about the McTwist. And it is really an unbelievable breakdown of how some people look at learning a new skill and they get excited because they know that's how they're going to differentiate themselves. And then there are other people who realize all of life is a treadmill of stacking skills. You'll never be able to stack every skill. And so what becomes your relationship in a world where people are always going to try to stack one more skill than you? Will you fall in love with the act of stacking skills, or will you fool yourself and fall in love only with winning? Now, if you only fall in love with winning, you're going to resent skill stacking. But if you fall in love with growing more powerful, regardless of whether you win or not,
You're going to win.
you're going to win.